So today we are here in the company of, and this is a word that's bandied around a lot in sport, legend, but I think it's probably fair to say that a woman who has won 59 Grand Slam titles, 20 at Wimbledon alone, Martina Navratilova, definitely falls in the legend stakes. But
legend in my own mind.
Martina, you're a legend in everybody's mind. Now, rather strangely, we're doing an interview inside an altitude chamber here at the London Altitude Centre in Putney. So you'd better explain why we are here.
Well, I am just trying to figure out if I really want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. No. I've lived in altitude for 20 years, so I thought I would be okay, but you never know. This is a testing place where you can find out how well you will cope with altitude when you actually get up there. And people train here on the bike, or they can do, I guess, some sprints or whatever. You just or sleep in the simulated altitude, so they can get used to that. But I am just here to find out how well I will do, and so far so good. The lung capacity is good, and the recovery, the oxygenation levels, everything is working pretty well, so I should be all right.
Now we better explain for those who don't know. You're going to climb Kilimanjaro. When and why?
I'm climbing it in December for the Laurea Sport for Good Foundation. Raise money for the foundation as well as awareness. I've been a member of the Laurea Sport Academy for 15 years, I think now. And 10 years ago we started the Laurea Sport for Good Foundation, which has about 80 projects around 40 countries around the world. And we've helped over 1 million kids have a sporting experience in a safe and positive environment. So that's what we do.
So how did this idea come about? When did you hear about it? Who broached it?
Well,
and what were your thoughts when you first heard it?
Laurea's came to me, I think it was either December or January, and a year ago, and said, would you like to climb Kilimanjaro to help raise money for the foundation? I'm like, yes, please. Always wanted to climb it, always wanted to do it. Couldn't find anybody to go with, and so this is a great excuse to get up to the mountain, to the top of the mountain, hopefully, and in the meantime raise money for a great cause that I truly believe in. Sports obviously is very close to my heart, and always wanted to give kids an opportunity to be involved in sports. So this is just a perfect situation for me, because I get to do what I want to do, and I get to do it for a great cause.
And it's, I mean, the experience as well, not just the physical challenge, but the whole, walking through the different terrain, from the jungles to the lunar landscape. I mean, you're going to be with quite a few other people. You're going to have to lose all your inhibitions. That's all part of it, isn't it?
Well, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, so I know about being in the public side, in a private setting. And I've done quite a bit of camping and hiking, so I'll be okay about that. I mean, I went mushroom hunting the other day and had to wee in the woods, so it's you do what you do.
That's almost too much information coming from you.
Too much information. Well, that's what you do, isn't it? We'll be doing whatever it takes to get to the top, but do it safely, and we'll see.
Well, listen, certainly the whole of Britain will be rooting for you, Martina, even though we British don't particularly like people who win and win and win and win and win for some reason, because it gets a bit boring and people like to see somebody else win. But you are definitely a favourite here, and to prove it, you did so well in I'm a Celebrity as well, which in fact, you were runner-up, which is like you normally win things, but what kind of experience was that?
I had no control. That was the hardest thing I've done, because I'm 3 weeks without I'm celebrating for 3 weeks, and I didn't mind the camping bit. I love sleeping under the stars. Not enough to do there, but the lack of food. Yeah. We have that problem here, climbing the mountain. They're trying to feed us more, actually, because you don't want to eat. So the trick will be to eat enough. I've never been known to shy away from food, so that's why the celebrity is so hard for me, because I love to eat. But I managed, and came in second. Joe Wash won. I'm going to recount.
Now, of course, when you agreed to do this in January, okay, a little bit later on in the year, you received the very traumatic news that you had cancer of the breast, and happily, since then, obviously not much fun, but you're in remission. I guess you.
It's not remission. I don't have it.
It's gone.
No, it was ductal carcinoma in situ, DCIS, which is the most common kind of breast cancer for women. It means it's not moving. It was confined to the breast, a small area. They took it out, took the little offending calcifications out, and then I had radiation in May and June, and so I've been clear since March. I've been technically cancer-free, and the radiation just helps make sure that it doesn't come back in the same form. And physically, I'm back to normal. So
you're 100% fit.
100%.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's very easy for us to sit here and just talk about it, but I mean, boy, that was a scare. But I guess you got on with it.
It was a shocker, but at the same time, it could have been a lot worse. So I feel like I dodged a bullet at the same time, and now I'm done with the doctors and the mammograms until next year, and I'll be climbing Kilimanjaro instead.
Did it help, not just with the cancer, but I guess with everything really, having the mentality that any sporting champion has? You've got to dig deep. You've got to sometimes achieve things when it's not looking good. That must help, mustn't it?
Of course, positive attitude. All champions have it. That's how they become champions. You don't become a champion by being whiny and feeling sorry for yourself. It's like, oh, this isn't working. So positive attitude always helps, and it helped in this instance as well. And that, of course, I felt sorry for myself for a little bit, for about 5 minutes. But then I thought, okay, what do I have to do to get out of this, to get well again? So I immediately went into the solution and never looked back.
When people like me introduce you as a legend and 59 Grand Slams and 20 Wimbledon titles and all the rest, I mean, they're figures. And what does it mean to you? Because you don't want to spend your life patting yourself on the back saying, "Didn't I do well?" But come on, you did pretty well.
Well, I did pretty well, but I don't think about it until people like you bring it up. But yeah. Good job. Could have been better, but could have been a lot worse. I'm not complaining.
Could have been much better.
Had a great run, but it wasn't all about Grand Slams for us when we were playing. It was just about winning titles and being number one at the end of the year, and winning hopefully a few Wimbledons and US Opens along the way. Then the French Open, Australian Open became much bigger. But now it's all about the Grand Slams. But I had a great run, and I'm very thankful for the body that I was given. Worked very hard at it as well. I had some great help along the way with coaches and parents, of course, and friends. And so here I am, and now I'm like, I can sit on my laurels. But onwards and upwards, Now my next challenge is getting to the top of the mountain, and how many titles I won makes no difference to the mountain.
The mountain won't care if it's 59 or 0. But what is it, Martina? How can you put your finger on why? I mean, you mentioned hard work, and clearly you're very talented. But so's everybody. Everybody's got talent when you get into the sort of the top 3, 4, and you start winning Grand Slams. What's the difference between the Federers, the Navratilovas, and the others?
I think it's a combination of course, mentality, the willingness to work hard, and having the vision and the perseverance. But talent, of course. If you take 100 kids, one of them is going to run faster without trying than the kid that's already been training. So I was again a good body that was lined up right, so I didn't have any funny bits sticking out, so I didn't have any issues with my body throughout my career. And I could run faster and throw the ball further, and it was easy for me to catch since I was little. I was like, why can't he catch it? It's so easy, just catch it. So I was blessed, and then I worked at it. So it's a combination.
But there's more than that as well. It's something in your head as well, and that's the difference, isn't it? The final inch, the top inches.
Well, it's like, what's the alternative? I mean, for me, it was always about reaching my best, whatever that was. And I always said, as long as you do your best every single day and achieve the best that you can be as a tennis player, as an architect, or as a trainer, whatever it is, that's what it's about, achieving your best. Right? I did not measure myself next to the other people. It comes to that when you play in the match. It's one-on-one, but did I play my best? Did I prepare the best way that I could? And then was I there for an hour and a half, 2 hours? And if I can do that, but the other guy's better, well, that doesn't mean that I failed. It just means they're better. It's like, okay, I was lucky enough to get to number one. I was good enough to be number one. But if my best is getting to number 10, if the other 9 guys aren't around, I'm number 1. That doesn't make me a better tennis player. So it's about becoming the best at whatever it is that you do. And I did that. I did everything that I possibly could, and I was good enough to be number 1. So lucky me. and growing up, that was the first tournament I heard about it. In tennis, I think particularly, you're only as good as your opponent. You can't hit great shots unless they make you hit great shots. Can Roger win another Grand Slam? Of course. Wouldn't write him off on that. If Nadal stays healthy, I don't think there's any way that Roger can get back to number one. A lot of people were crowning Roger the greatest of all time while he was still playing, but meantime, he's getting beaten by Rafa Nadal. We know that at her best, Serena Williams is the best player in the world, but she's only played 6 tournaments this year. You can't be number one with that. It doesn't feel like a true number one until you win a slam. He should have done better this year. There's no doubt about that. When he had some chances, he played it safe and he backed away. And I don't think he's quite recovered from it.